Stephanie here from Gathered in the Kitchen, and today I'm going to show you guys how to make a Dollar Tree witch's hat wreath. So what I've done is I've gone to Dollar Tree and I've picked up a bunch of supplies. First off, I have the witch's hat wreath form, and hopefully you guys can see this. My tripod's broke, so I've got my phone painter's taped to a stand. I've got some tinsel stems. This is basically just pipe cleaners, but I picked out pretty silver ones. I've got 3 different colors of decorative mesh. So this is like the deco mesh that a lot of people use for wreaths. And again, all this was bought at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. I've got mesh tube, which will just look really pretty along the wreath, which I'll show you guys. I have 2 different types of ribbon. One is an orange one with kind of like some pumpkins and some swirls on it. Polka dot. And then I also have this little spider. It's just part of the decor department at Dollar Tree, and this is it. So we're gonna go ahead and get started. So to start, we're gonna begin with our black deco mesh. Just unwrap it, and we're going to start wrapping it around the top of our wreath, or our witch's hat. So let me move this out of the way. And we're just going to wrap. To start off, it's a little hard just because you have to get it so it stays. Let's see here. I'm gonna fold it. Okay. I'm just gonna wrap. And I'm working on a really small table, so unfortunately my stuff keeps sliding off. This is the problem with having your house be struck by lightning and catch fire and you can't live in it anymore. So, okay, let's see here. I'm gonna tighten this up. We can always come back and trim it too at the end. But I'm gonna start with that and start wrapping. If you need to, you can use a little pipe cleaner to hold that on for now. Let's go ahead and do that. And I'll come back and trim my pipe cleaner later. But I'm just gonna kind of stick it through the deco mesh and then twist it on my wreath form. Just a little bit to hold it. So hopefully you guys can, let's see if I can get that to show. So just like that to hold it on. There we go. Okay. Now we are just literally going to wrap. So this is the main part of the witch's hat. And you just wrap your black deco mesh. So I'd love to know, have you guys made one of these witch's hat wreaths before? If you have, post it in the comments. I'd love to see it. I've seen a couple of these on Pinterest and I just thought they were so adorable, so I wanted to give one a shot myself. And I do have a Dollar Tree close to me, so that's a plus. Do you guys have a Dollar Tree where you guys are? If you do, comment yes or no. I would just like to know, so for future video tutorials, I know if I can shop there or not, because unfortunately for me, where I live in Wisconsin, I do not have a Michael's or a Hobby Lobby anywhere close to me. It is like the saddest thing in the world. I've never lived where I didn't, well, I guess in Georgia, I didn't have any of those close to me either, but that was a long time ago, so now this just really stinks. But I do have a Joann Fabric, so I can shop there, but not everybody has a Joann's by then. Okay, so we're just wrapping this all the way down. You guys can kind of see that, hopefully. Okay. And if we run out of our mesh, that's fine. I have another roll over here. Okay, so I have run out, and you can make this completely go the whole distance here. I kind of wrap mine tight. So, oh, if you guys hear that, it must be noon here. So that means, oh no, it's 11 o'clock. They're going off early today. We have alarms that go off every day at noon. Kind of like a test for the city. You can hear it. Okay. I'm gonna leave this here, leave that like that, open up my second pack. Okay. And I'm just going, what I'm gonna do actually is put a little bit of a pipe cleaner there and one in here and twist this together to kind of stitch it together. Okay. Trim this, pipe cleaner, and start wrapping again. So what's everybody's favorite type of wreaths to make? I'm sure there are some wreath makers out there. I'd love to know what wreaths you guys have made. Do you guys like to do burlap wreaths? Do you like more the deco mesh wreaths like I'm making right now, or floral wreaths? There's so many different kinds of wreaths you can make, and if you guys head on over to my blog at Gathered in the Kitchen, you'll see lots of wreaths. Actually, that was one of the very first blog posts that went viral on Gathered in the Kitchen. Okay, so I'm done. I just wrapped it down over these bottom two like this so I can hold it in place a little bit better. I'm going to cut this off, cut it a little long. I'm just going to tie this. So on this witch's hat wreath form, you've got a dividing metal wire thing right there. I'm just gonna tie this to it, and this will get covered up, so I actually can even leave it long. So must be a tornado siren thing or something for the bad weather, because it's not noon, so hopefully if you guys hear that, it's not that distracting. It'll be over soon. All right, having a hard time tying it. There we go. Okay, so there is the base of our witch's hat. So I've got this black deco mesh wrapped all around it. Now comes the fun part. I'm gonna put that out of the way because, like I said, I'm working on a really small table. I'm gonna start, it's facing our direction now. I'm gonna start with the ribbon. Now normally what I would do is I would have one of those rubber mats with all of the dimensions, like the grid on it, and a nice rolly cutter, but because of my house fire, I don't have any of that stuff. So I'm just working off of a little coffee table and using scissors. So typically I like to go about 9 inches. I think this is about, how long are these? 12 inches. So I'm going to estimate where 3 inches less than that would be. So about right here, okay? And I've got my 2 ribbons stacked on top of each other just to make it easier for cutting, to go quicker. So just recut. These are going to be made into almost like a little pick, but it's not a pick. But if you guys are familiar with floral picks, it's kind of along the lines of what we're going to create to go around the base, the brim of our witch's hat. So I'm just going to cut a bunch of these. Now again, all of these supplies were bought at Dollar Tree. So it's a really economical wreath that you can make that's super cute and doesn't cost a ton of money. So I'm just cutting all these again at about 9 inches. I'm gonna come back, let's start with that because that looks like a lot. I'm going to fold them in half and then fold them again. And then I'm going to cut on the inner seam, so not on the edges that are the raw edges of the wreath or of the ribbon. I'm going to go on the folded edge, and I'm just going to cut a little triangle or a diagonal line, and then you get your little tailed edges. So that just looks a lot cuter in your wreath. Makes it look a little more finished. So I'm going to go ahead and do a couple of these really fast, and then we're going to move on to the next step of cutting our deco mesh that will also go along the brim of our witch's hat. So, all right, cut a couple more, and then I can always come back and cut some more of these later. So, all right, there we go. So I'd love to know where everybody lives. Tell me in the comments, where are you from? Where are you tuning in from? I know there's probably some people all over the country. So I am in Wisconsin, like I mentioned before. We recently moved here from North Carolina. My family and I have lived all over the place now. This is our 4th state in 12 years' time. But we're here to stay. And you guys have probably heard me mention now a couple of times about our house fire. Our house was actually struck by lightning and caught fire. So we can no longer live in our house. It's an 1886 Victorian. And it's just going to take a really, really, really long time to repair. It's estimated to take a year at this point. So it's kind of sad, for sure, because I would love to live there. So, okay, next part. We're going to do more of our deco mesh. And these are going to be turning into like those little floral picks that I mentioned. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to go ahead. This kind of sticks together because it's real, like, not wiry, but almost wiry. I'm going to lay this out. And again, we're going to go for 9 inches. Let's get one I didn't trim the edges off of. And we're just going to cut. Now, if you have one of the rolling cutters, this is so much easier at this point. And you can stack these, but because I'm cutting it with scissors, I basically have to do this individually because it will bunch up and then I won't get even lines or the same length curls at the end. So, okay. I'm going to do this with the purple, with the orange, and the leftover black that I have from the witch's hat. If you use the rollers too, you'll get really straight lines. For me, because I'm doing it with scissors, my lines aren't that straight, but really at the end of the day, it doesn't matter because we're going to curl these so you won't really see the edges of them. So, all right. You can prepare all of these supplies ahead of time too when you're making your wreath. So then you don't have to sit here while you're doing your wreath the whole time doing this. A lot of times what I like to do is go ahead and cut a bunch of supplies beforehand and save them for various wreaths that I have in the works for later. So, because this is kind of like the boring part of wreath making, getting all your supplies the way they need to be. So, you could always cut a bunch of pieces beforehand, save them for all the wreaths you have. So I know a lot of people love to make Christmas wreaths, and if you guys have been to the Dollar Tree recently, they've got their candy cane wreath forms out, and they're so cute. I made one last year, and I just loved it. I found it in one of our melted Tupperware bins this year from our attic, but I ended up having to throw it away because obviously it was burnt. So, okay, on the end of these, they put staples to hold it onto the little tube. Okay, so now we're moving on to our black. Okay. Again, I'm cutting these about 9 inches. You can, a safe length is no shorter than 8 inches. Anything shorter than 8 inches, your rolls, like we're going to create little rolls that basically look like this, are just going to be too short. So it's not going to really, you're not going to get the look that you're hoping for if you cut them less than 8 inches. So definitely stick around closer to the 9 inches because once we fold these, that does take up some length on these curls. So I just want you guys to make sure that if you make this, that you get the look that you were actually going for. Because I have done that before where I was like, well, maybe if I buy less supplies, then I can get more out of it if I just cut them shorter. Don't do it. I promise. I've done it too many times and then I'm not happy with the way that the wreath looks. Okay, moving on to the orange. Like I said, this is the boring part, but that's okay. Because it's worth it in the end because this wreath looks so cute. Let me move some of these tails out of the way. Okay. Alright, I'm just going to cut a few more and then I'll get going on the wreath so you guys can see what we do to assemble our wreath. So again, we're making a witch's hat. All these supplies are from Dollar Tree. Not being paid or anything by Dollar Tree. They have no idea who I am. I just love the crafting supplies that they sell there. And it's a great way to make a cute wreath on a cheap budget. Especially because these go outside. Well, you can put it outside. This is, you know, fabric that can go outside, but it will fade over time and does not look as cute. It kind of gets a little weathered. So that's why I like using supplies from the Dollar Tree for my outdoor wreaths, because wreaths can get kind of pricey. Okay, that one's a little short. Alrighty. So here we go. Oh, I lied. Sorry, we have one more thing. I'll just cut a couple of these. So this is the mesh tube. Hopefully you guys can see that mesh tube. And it's just a really cute like mesh wreath. It almost looks like those finger snakes. If you guys have ever been to like arcades or anything and you get those cheap prizes, you know, and you find those little, like, I forget, are they Chinese finger tube thingy mabobs? This is basically what this looks like. So we are just going to cut this. I'm going to cut this at a double the length. So there's one, there's two. Oh. Now the reason I'm going to cut this at a longer length is because we are going to fold these almost like into a ribbon or like a bow when we assemble our little floral pick style things. Okay. Have you guys ever used this stuff before? Leave a comment if you've ever used this mesh tubing. Okay, just a couple more. So hopefully when we get our house kind of rebuilt, my husband had planned anyway prior to the fire to build me a gorgeous craft room down in our basement with a huge workspace table in the middle, and I'll hopefully have a setup to record better videos so that can all go over onto Gathered in the Kitchen. Okay, all right, I think we're ready to get started, guys. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take one color of each of our tools, or our deco mesh. We're going to take one of the tubes and we're going to take a ribbon. Let me get one that I made the tails on. So remember to cut the tails. You fold it in half again, and then cut on your folded side straight to the edge. Okay, so here we go. We need our pipe cleaners. We can probably get away with our pipe cleaners being cut in half. So what I'm going to do is make sure they're all even, and then we're gonna just cut them in half. Now this is a one, again, don't cut them too short. Don't try to cut 3 out of these. I've done that way too many times and then they don't work on my wreath and then I become frustrated. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take our mesh and we're going to roll it. Okay, hopefully you guys can see this. This one was the end of the roll. Let's not use that one. We're gonna use this one. So we're gonna roll like a tube, okay? Just like that. Hold it in your fingers, kind of like that. This one pretty much rolled on itself. So we're gonna put that. We're gonna clip, basically like pinch them together in your hands. Okay, now this one, we're gonna roll this one. Perfect, add it. Now, we're going to take our ribbon. So we've got a clump of the 3 colors right now. Take our ribbon, and I call this the accordion fold. Start on the, we're going to go in the middle of the ribbon here. We're going to accordion fold it. Start with going like that, almost like a paper fan. But I like to make sure that my edges are down rather than up, like facing up like that, because I think that looks messy and it's covering up a lot of your decoration on your ribbon. So make sure you accordion fold it, paper fan fold it, whatever you want to call it, but where the edges go down. We're going to add that to our bundle. And now we're going to take, you have to be talented with your hands to be able to hold all this, guys, and still do all this. We're going to just take our tubing, fold it over, oh, I'll go like this, cut my edges a little long. Okay, So basically you're gonna make like a figure 8 with it. I'll show you guys once I get it pinched. And we're gonna have long tails, but that's okay. So I made a figure 8. So you've got a loop down here and a loop here. We're gonna add that, oops, to our bundle. Make sure they're even. So they're like that. And we're gonna take our pipe cleaner, go right over the center, push really hard. You need a little bit of strength here, kind of pressure. Okay, hold it real tight like this and fold this up. So you're basically folding your bundle of ribbon and mesh up in half, and then you're gonna twist your pipe cleaner. So then you're going to have this cute little, what I call a floral pick, even though we don't really have a pick stem on it. So we're gonna create a bunch of these. So that was so easy to make, but I'm gonna show you guys how to do this again. So set this aside, move all those scraps out. Okay, again, get one of each color of your mesh, roll it up, and they like to roll on their own because they're so tightly wound on those rolls from the store. Okay, do this one. I'm going to do the other ribbon now. Oh, that one doesn't have the tails cut yet. I have to cut those. Again, accordion fold them so your edges are down. Add it to your bundle. Make sure they're even. You want even sides there. Make a figure 8 with your tubing. Place it on top. And take a pipe cleaner. Oops, it got low battery. Take a pipe cleaner, fold it over, hold real tight, and then fold your whole entire bundle up in half like that and twist really tight with these. Okay. Twist, and then you can refluff however you need to fluff. All right, so we're gonna go ahead, make a few more. We're gonna need quite a few for our wreath, but that's okay. These go pretty quickly once we start moving. Fold them, add them, accordion. Okay, a figure 8. Oops. Now you can leave at the end, leave your tails long on your tubing, which I'll show you guys what I mean by that when we start assembling these, or you can cut them short. I actually kind of like them long. I think they look a little cuter that way. Okay. See what I mean? If you guys made these any shorter than 8 inches, which these are 9 inches, these would just be way too short. So definitely don't skimp. Make them no shorter than 8 inches, but again, mine are 9 inches. Okay? Get some more. So what other projects are you guys working on for fall? I feel like fall is the best time because it really kicks off like the holiday season. I know that kind of sounds maybe a little crazy, but I really feel like once fall comes, you're really on the home stretch of getting to Christmas, which is probably, like many of you guys, favorite time of year. So it basically is like the kickoff to how beautiful can you make your house look. So something of, oops, I totally forgot the little figure 8 on this guy. Let's untwist. So if you do that, just untwist. You just have to remember which way you twisted it to get it undone. Oh, there we go. Okay. Add my figure 8. Little loopy loops. And stick it on. And you can change up the direction of how you put all these things together, how you assemble them. So if you want to do your ribbon on the bottom and your deco mesh up on top, or however you can do it, basically however you'd like. So that's the best thing about wreaths, is you can make them however you would like. There is no right or wrong way. That one's definitely longer right there, so I'm gonna cut that right now. But there's no right or wrong way to make a wreath. That's why I really like them, because every wreath is unique and can be made however you choose. So I need to cut the tails on some more of my ribbon now. So again, to do that, you just fold it in half again, cut your folded edge to the corner, and then you've got beautiful tails. You can come back through with a lighter and lightly basically burn those. It just makes it so it won't fray, but I'm not going to do that right now. I can come back and do that after my wreath is assembled, but oh, that one has it. Okay. Fold, fold. Okay. Just a few more to go, and we're gonna really start making a dent on this wreath. And again, it doesn't matter how you assemble the colors there. You can choose how you'd like that. Okay, add our ribbon. Our loop-de-loops. Do you guys have fall candles burning at your house right now? Like the scented candles? I bought a pumpkin bourbon candle the other day. Oh my gosh, it smells so good. It's amazing smelling. Then I also have some vanilla candles burning and some coffee candles. I bought that one in North Carolina, and that is probably the most amazing smelling candle I have ever owned. It's a coffee scented candle, and it is just amazing. It just smells like a coffee shop in my now apartment, but it was in my house in North Carolina, and it smells so good. So I like to keep it actually in my car. That's a trick I do. I keep a candle in my car because I don't like the air freshener scents, like, you know, the ones that you can buy at the store and hang up on your rearview mirror and whatnot, or the plug-in types. I really cannot stand those. They give me a headache. So I like it to buy a candle, like this coffee scented one in particular, and I just leave it in my car in my cup holder. And on warm days, it basically makes the candle warm up just a little bit, and you smell it, but it's not overpowering because I'm obviously not burning it in my car, but it just helps get rid of that minivan smell that I have of 3 kids who play sports and stink and leave a lot of garbage in there. So okay, so here's again our little picks. On the end, you guys see that I've got these long tails from the pipe cleaners, and those are what we are going to use to attach our bundles to our wreath form. So remember, we did our witch's hat wreath form. So I'm just going to make a couple more of these. I only actually have 2 more black tulle pieces, or yeah, the black deco mesh pieces left, because I used a little bit more than I thought for the wreath, or for the hat part. Okay. So squish it, add it on, add our loop-de-loop, and so if you guys make this, I would love to see your creation of it. So make sure you tag Gathered in the Kitchen in your post, and make sure you share away. And share this video too if you guys find it helpful. I know we've got a lot of wreath makers in the group, especially people who are starting wreath making businesses. So hopefully this will be something you guys can do and grow your business. Make sure you tag Gathered in the Kitchen though, to share where you learned how to do this. Okay. So this is going to be our last one right now because I don't have any more black. So I want to lay these out on the wreath and see if I have enough, because I'm going to make the rest of my bundles without the black. When you guys are crafting, do you listen to music or do you like peace and quiet? I'll tell you what I like. I like peace and quiet because otherwise, normally when everybody else is home at my house, it's always loud and chaotic. So when I'm home during the day by myself crafting, I always like it quiet. My husband thinks I'm crazy. It would drive him nuts because even at work, he wears headphones. So, all right, what I'm gonna do is just create a couple extras because what we're doing with these is we're going to tie these on to our wreath, but I want to make sure I have enough to fill it out. Let's see. I mean, I guess we might. Yeah, we could give it a try. All right, we're going to go ahead and do it. Let me move these things out of the way. All right, so let me count how many I have. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I have 8 bundles, and if this is not enough, I'll make more without the black. So all we are going to do is start attaching our bundles with these pipe cleaners to our wreath form. So we just go ahead and get started. Just twist them on and then twist the back of the pipe cleaner together, and then we can come back and trim these later if we need to. There's that. I'm sorry this chair is so squeaky, you guys. Oh my goodness. Oh, I bought some chairs at a consignment shop actually, and I spray painted them. They're adorable. I need to show you guys them, but they're a bit squeaky. I bought them because I had a birthday party for my daughter this past weekend, and we needed some extra chairs because obviously we don't have all of our chairs from our real house. So, okay. And you just attach them. I'm going to make sure I alternate my ribbon where I've got the different color ribbons. So this one will go here. Where's the other? There it is. So I'm going to flip it so you guys can see the back side. So we're just tying, basically twisting them on. There's really no other way to explain that. And then I like to kind of twist it again just to hold it tight. Okay? Like that, so they don't move around. And then we're just going to keep filling this out. So I'm going to add more and more. Okay, I'm going to do this one down here. Oops, I dropped it. And you can do this too, where you start assembling your wreath and then come back and see if you need more. It's not always fun to make these pick parts, so if you want to start assembling and then see if you need more, you can always do that. Okay, so I've used 4 there, so I'm going to spread this out a little bit, and pass on that fell off. So I'm going to do this one over here. And you can use as many of these as you like or as little. I kind of like more because I like my wreaths to be a little more full. Okay. Now normally you would work all in a row rather than what I'm doing where I'm starting at one side going to the other side, but because I'm going to need more of these things and I don't have the black mesh anymore, I want to make sure I even it out. So I'm doing 4 and 4. Okay, just twist them on. And then you can always refluff however you need to. Okay, I need to make some more, but this is basically how we do the wreath. So the bottom part of her brim, of the witch's brim, is going to be all of these fun little, I don't know, rolls of deco mesh. And then I have this cute little spider I'm going to attach to the top up here. Hopefully you guys can see that. There we go. So I need to make some more rolls. Move that out of the way. Gotta get my ribbon up here. Okay. And we're just gonna start rolling some more of these rolls. For these, what I'm going to do is do alternating. Some I'll do 2 purple and 1 orange, and then some I'll do 2 orange and 1 purple, just because I don't have enough of the black. And that's just because I used a little extra for making her hat. Okay, get all the supplies back up here. Oops. All right, and start rolling again. Oops, got that one on upside down almost. There we go. So these wreaths really are actually very easy to make, and they can take less than an hour. Just basically making sure all your supplies are the length that they need to be is the hardest part. And assembling these little doodads, these little picks. So, okay, do that. And the looser you keep your rolls, the more oomph you'll get with them, basically. The more they'll spread on your wreath, and it will take up more space. So if you want to try to get by with using less materials, just don't fold them as tight, your rolls. Okay. There we go. And then just always fluff where needed. But they're so cute. These wreaths just absolutely turn out adorable. And you can do these on the circle wire wreath form. So you guys have probably seen those. That's usually what I use for, oops, I need more ribbon. For my wreaths are those circle wreath forms. And they just absolutely turn out adorable. There's so many different things you can do. Like I told you guys at the beginning of the video, my burlap wreaths are the ones that actually kind of helped put Gathered in the Kitchen on the map many, many years ago. And it was actually with a foam wreath base. So you guys have probably seen those as well. They're foam all the way through. And I used burlap that I made into basically a bubble. It's basically called a bubble burlap wreath, and you guys can search Gathered in the Kitchen for a full tutorial on that, and you'll see my girl when she was a little baby helping me out. It was so cute. But then you just use pins, like a straight pin, push pin, and put it into the wreath, and then you make a beautiful, beautiful wreath. I used to sell those on Etsy a lot many years ago. All right, here we go. I think we're ready to assemble some more. So these we're gonna leave like that. Take this one. And I know I had a black one fall. I'm gonna have to cut more of this tube, but that's okay. Do this. But yeah, if you guys make these for Christmas or Valentine's Day or whatever, if you just use whatever colors you want for this, then you can make whatever style wreath you want. I know at Dollar Tree they have some really cute fall color mesh right now too. They have, all right, these were double the length, so 1, 2. They have some yellows and greens and oranges and some red, which would make a really adorable Thanksgiving wreath. That'd be so cute. It's great fall colors. Looks very leafy. All right, hopefully this will be all I need for this witch's hat. Okay. Make a couple more. If you guys are looking for more wreath tutorials, I have over on YouTube a spring wreath. Now, of course, that's not for this time of year, but it's the tulip wreaths that you'll see at the store that cost absolutely way too much money. I show you guys how to make it out of very, very cheap, inexpensive materials and make it look really beautiful. Basically use tulips and lace and another foam wreath form, and it just looks gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. Okay. A couple more. It's like one stuck inside of it. That's okay. Oops. So I don't know about you guys, but I love looking at wreaths at the stores, especially like Hobby Lobby when I lived by one. But I'm such a cheapo and I hate paying expensive prices for wreaths when I know I could recreate it and make it a little more full or exactly the colors I want. So I always like to make my own wreaths. So I have lots of wreath making supplies for various holidays. Usually my doors are decorated for every holiday. I feel like a door without a wreath is a naked door, so I always make sure that my doors have wreaths. Even a lot of my interior doors have wreaths, actually, because I just love, love, love the look of wreaths. Okay. All right, do this one. I think I'm gonna make one more after this. Oh, nope, maybe this will be it. We're gonna just make these work. Okay. Put this. So how many extras do I have? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we had 8 before, so 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. We have 14 total that hopefully will fill out this wreath. So let's bring back our witch's hat and start twisting them on again. So remember, on this witch's hat wreath form, there was that upper wire and then this lower wire. You definitely want to make sure you go upper and lower, and you can alternate between them too to make sure you get everything even, but you don't have to do it that way either. So just gonna twist. And Dollar Tree also sells a bunch of cute little pumpkin picks. They're like little foam pumpkins with glitter polka dots on them and whatnot, and they have a floral pick on the back, which is basically like a little wooden stick that you can put all over this if you want to, but I didn't really want pumpkins. I just wanted it to be more witchy than cutesy Halloween. Even though I think this is cute. My kids really want to decorate our house scary this year, but I am not a scary person. I cannot stand anything scary, so I really just can't. But with our house right now being totally torn apart and being as old as it is, so it's an 1886 Victorian, they have started ripping out all of our walls and our ceilings, and because it's so old, we have lath and plaster walls, so basically think shiplap in terms that everybody's familiar with. And so my house actually does look super creepy. I could do a haunted house and make probably a pretty penny on it, but I just wouldn't be able to live there then knowing that there was something creepy in that house or people walking through wanting to be scared, because I do not like scary. So again, I just twist these onto the metal form. Oh, it's looking so cute. I've got one more, and it can go right here. Oh, I love it. This is adorable. And I mean, this really has not taken very much time at all. We've got to be around a half hour at most. You know what? I got to cut off this tag on the wreath form. Okay. Twist it, fluff wherever you need to fluff. And there you have it. There is our adorable witch's hat. Now, oh, I have one more. Good. Whew. I can add that one up top because I have a little spot where I'm missing this color ribbon. Let's just add this one here. I'll slide this one down. Okay. It fell off the table and I didn't see it. Oh my goodness, this looks so stinking cute. Okay, here's our witch's hat. Now we're gonna put our spider on. You can use hot glue, but of course I don't have a hot glue gun over here right now. So let's see, he does look like he's got, this is from Dollar Tree as well. He's got a stretchy cord on him. Let's go ahead and take that. I'm gonna use that to actually hold him on. So this spider has this stretchy cord. I'm just gonna put that around. That may not work. So get some hot glue and hold it right like that on there. And then you've got this adorable witch's hat with a spider on it. I'm gonna go ahead and take it off the tripod here and show you guys how cute this actually looks. Oh my gosh, it's so adorable. Okay. Let me unhook it. So sorry about my hand. Okay. Yep, I showered today. Okay, so here is our wreath. Oh my gosh, it's so cute. Let me find a good spot to show you guys with the light. So, okay. There it is. There is our witch's hat. It looks so cute. Now I need to go hang it on something so then you guys can see it a little better. Let me prop it up here. You guys have to excuse the mess because we've been getting some of our items back and there's no space for them where we're currently living. So there is our witch's hat. What do you guys think? Do you like it? Leave me a comment if you think it's cute and if you would make it. I'm gonna go hang this up on the front door, but I definitely want to hear what you guys think of this. If you would make it, did it seem easy enough? And let me know what other wreaths you guys would like to see made. So thanks for watching, guys. I'll make sure I post this over on gatheredinthekitchen.com and there will be some other great tutorials over there. Bye, guys.